I've got a message for all illegals. If you don't want to be pushed back, if you don't want to be arrested, if you don't want to be shot, don't come to our borders. Do not come to the Polish border. Then you're safe. It's not us, it's not our police who came up to beat you up, to push you, or to arrest you. It's you who tried to break the law on our land.
Let's ask Mr. Toczynski, how many refugees has Poland taken?
0.
And you're proud of that?
If you are asking me, if you are asking me about Muslims illegal immigration, none, not even one, will come to Poland. Not even one if it's illegal. We took over 2 million Ukrainians who are working, who are peaceful in Poland. We will not receive even one Muslim because this is what we promised.
But I asked not about illegal immigrants, I asked about refugees. And Jean-Claude Juncker, the Commission President, says that you're racist. You sound proud of the fact that you haven't taken any refugees.
Ridiculous.
Of course, because this is what our people are expecting from our government. That's number one. This is why our government was elected. But this is why Poland is so safe. This is the reason why we had not even one terrorist attack. Look at the streets in Poland. And we can be called populists, nationalists, racists. I don't care. I care about my family and about my country.
And in terms of Putin giving the message that it's okay to invade countries, I think the United States sent that message when it invaded Afghanistan. I think the United States gave that message when it invaded Syria. I think the United States gave that message when they murdered Muammar Gaddafi in Libya. And we, of course, can't forget what we did to Saddam Hussein in Iraq. So, and by the way, Putin isn't trying to take over Ukraine. If he wanted to do that, it would have been done 3 or 4 days ago.
So what is he trying to do? He's not trying to take over Ukraine.
He's trying to demilitarize and denazify the country.
And in the process is invading and destroying civilian locations, and civilians are dying along the way, being killed along the way, and the accusation that the Ukraine is run by Nazis that's debatable, and it's also hard to understand.
I didn't say it was run by Nazis. I didn't say it was run by Nazis. What I said is there's a very strong Nazi contingent called the Azov Brigade in Ukraine that the United States through the CIA has been funding, training, and used in 2014 to overthrow the democratically elected government of Viktor Yanukovych.
Let me pull Mary in here.
Alright, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makarkadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and the few sisters that's out there unto this life foreigners from the seed of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick show to the spirit. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, I don't want any brothers to be edified. And as you can see, beginning of the video, you have, I don't even know who that guy is specifically, but obviously he's from Poland, and the attitude that he has towards how can I say it? Caucasian people is very revealing, okay, because that is the sentiments that's not only in Ukraine but also all around the world. All right, because the Ukrainians themselves, that's why Putin made a big deal, basically saying that the Ukrainians are like Nazis. And also, you see in the other video, you had a Jake man bringing out the facts. And who we have there to kind of combat him? Of course, the so-called black woman. Because, you know, they don't want to believe that. And when you put two to two together, and you understand the scriptures, let's say if you never knew about this, and you just came upon one of the videos, all the mountain of evidence throughout history in our everyday life, because this gas prices is not affecting the rich, is affecting the poor. And who the majority of the poor is who? You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You being affected by all these things that's happening in this world right now. You the ones that's gotta suffer for something that you didn't do, all because the deep hatred that this man has towards us. All right, and this hatred, it goes deep. It goes extremely deep, and that's one thing that our people don't understand: how much hatred that they have for you. This is not just America. Let's not get it twisted. It's not just the lands of America, you know, where the utter hatred that they have towards Jake. The hatred they have towards Jake is throughout the whole four corners of the earth. It's not just Esau, it's all these other nations, but mainly Esau. Because Esau is the number one adversary towards Israel. All right, that's the one, that's who the Lord used as the whipping stick, like the scripture says in Psalms 17th chapter. All right, he's the wicked. Malachi, the 4th chapter, the 1st chapter, around the 4th verse, that anywhere he goes will be considered the border of wickedness. All right, so it's not surprising. It shouldn't be surprising. I think I'm gonna put it in the video too. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. It was a RT. It was not just RT, but it was a combination of all these Western newscasts, basically saying that all these people are humans, they're refugees, they're the victims and so forth, and it shouldn't be. They're not like the savage countries as Iraq and all these other, you know. So when it comes, you know, the hatred that Esau has towards the darker races is real, because out of all people in the planet Earth, they're the only ones that does not have any sort of melanin. All right, because they're cursed. All right, what they have on themselves is a curse, and the jealousy is real. Matter of fact, since I'm talking about this, let me get that real quick. Leviticus 13, I think. Oh, it's 13:39. Leviticus 13:39. I'm going to the point. It says, I haven't read this in a while. All right, Leviticus 13 and that's 37. No, 36. Then the priest shall look upon him. No, actually, it's 13 and 14. All right, Leviticus 13 and 12. And if a leprosy break out abroad in the skin, and the leprosy cover all the skin of whom have that plague, from his head even to his foot, wheresoever the priest looketh. So, might I add, this is the law of leprosy. All right. Now, leprosy, which is going to explain that these people that doing all these things in this world, they have leprosy. All right. Not because they when I mean these people, Esau, Edom, because you got some chocolate Edomites too. All right, but the majority of them are clean leopards, which is going to say, it says, then the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean that have the plague. That doesn't mean that the person is clean. It just means that it is not contagious. All right, it's still a plague, and a plague is nothing. Nothing about a plagues are good. It says it is all turned white. He is clean. So let me look up the word plague just real quick. Plague. It says naga. stroke, plague, disease. Mark. Key word, mark. All right, because this is the mark that the Lord put upon Cain. Okay, that's what the mark was back then. All right, that particular it was leprosy. The Lord put leprosy on Cain. It wasn't an X like these Christians would say, and he put, because if you put an X in somebody's forehead, like the apostles used to say back in the days, then somebody just could easily just take something and wrap it up. It wasn't talking about, it was actually a plague, which was what? Leprosy. It says, mark, plague, spots, stroke, wound, stroke, metaphorically, of disease, mark of leprosy. So these people that's walking around claiming to be who they are, they are disease. Okay, that's why the sun doesn't work well with them. Everything in this planet doesn't aid them. So who's really the alien? All right, here it is. This man's making a statement. I'm talking about the guy in the first video. He made a statement of illegal aliens that's coming to their border. Well, technically, you are the illegals, because everybody has melanin. Everybody looks a certain way, except for you. These are the people that have the race, because they forefather. The same curse that Cain had received, they forefather Esau was born with it. Matter of fact, let me get to that real quick. Genesis 25 and 21. And Isaac intrigued the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was intrigued of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived, meaning that he went to talk for his wife, like she don't have no children. So the Lord entertained and listened to his prayers. All right, because he needed an heir himself. Talking about Isaac, it says, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. So here it is a blessing that she received these two children, which were twins. And they struggling, meaning they were fighting. Matter of fact, let's struggle together, right? It says, Ratazah, to crush, oppress, to crush, get crushed, be crushed. So these two brothers, all right, they were trying to kill each other. All right, they was trying to massacre each other, and which was a deeper spiritual meaning behind it. Matter of fact, Ecclesiastes 33 and 12. Yes. It says, some of them he hath blessed and exalted, and some of them he hath sanctified and set near himself. But some of them he hath cursed and brought low and turned out of their places. This is speaking of the Most High's creation. So the Lord basically says some of the people that the Lord created, he blessed and exalted and put them up and loved. And the others he hated, okay, and brought them low. And who's those? Which is going to tell. He says, as the clay is in the potter's hand, to fashion it as at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him, to render to them as liking him best, meaning putting them in a certain position that it will please. That's why Scripture says man's goings of who? The Lord. So everything that's being done on the planet Earth is being done because the Most High wanted to be done. That's why consistently when they try to get away from color and racism and all this other stuff, it always come back. It's a constant reminder. It's a constant stain. It's a constant hurt. It's something that's never going to go away because the Lord don't want it to go away. He's proven a point. It says good is set against evil and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High. There are two and two, one against another. So the Lord created, we all know, you watch movies, you grew up in certain ways, there's always conflict between good and evil. Always. All right? Always. There's always tension. They can't get along. One has to either destroy the other. Okay, that's how the Lord created things to be. So when he created these two individual men, that there was going to be, which I'm going to go back to that real quick. Genesis 25 and 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So one is going to be stronger than the other, and eventually the elder, whoever come out first, is going to serve the younger, mean his servant. All right, he's going to have complete rulership over him. So this is the narrative of the story. Okay, this is this is the main plot of the story that the Lord created from the very beginning. This is a significant part of the scriptures. All right, the most important part, which it tells you in the Apocrypha clearly, which I'm going to get that as well. You know, that this is all about them, because from which I'm going to keep reading. It says, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. And that doesn't mean that he was hairy. It means that when he was born, he was lacking pigment. All right, which there was lichen, meaning there was they was using because when you do the research, they had to dye was it goat's hair. All right, they used goat's hair they dyed it, so there was using a simile, saying like, wow, this guy looks exactly like a goat's hair when they dye it. All right, they dye it red. So that's all it was. He was born without pigmentation. And it says, and they called his name Esau, because Esau means what? Wasted away is he. So off top, he had something against a strike against him. He did not bear the royal color of man. Okay, he looked different. It proves that he was different from everyone else. It says, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took the hold on Esau's heel. And they make mention of the brother because the brother was born normal. All right, he was born like everybody else. It says, his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she buried him. So this one line alone says it all. Okay? So the Lord basically made two main characters, and set them apart from the very beginning of time. All right? He made it so significant that they came from the same father. They came from the same, well, the line past the other one, but he came from a good stock, and yet he was the most evilest thing ever, because like the scripture says, these two boys didn't do nothing wrong, but yet the Most High did. Matter of fact, Romans, let me get that real quick. 9 and 13. No, 11. It says, for the children being not yet born, neither have done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High, according to election, might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elder should serve the younger, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So before the Most High before these men actually didn't act, the Lord already would predestined how things was going to be. That's why we've seen this conflict in this world. No matter what these devils do, yet they always try to put the blame on somebody else. And that's what we always consistently see. And it's that deep hatred, which going. And now I'm gonna get to the point of the hatred. Now we have the spiritual point. Now we're gonna get to the real reason. Okay, because it all boils down to this. But it's all reasoning, logical. It all adds up because overall, matter of fact, let me get to the other essence. Genesis 3, maybe 17, it says, no. Genesis 3:15. I'm sorry, 14. And the Lord Yahweh said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shall thou go, and dust shall thou eat all the days of thy life. And that's not talking about actual serpent. All right, there was not snake men that was walking, had two legs. No, it's not talking about that. It's talking about characteristics of a man. All right. Out of all cattle, when you read, I believe it's, let me get that. Ecclesiastes 3:15. It says, no, I'm not 3:15. Slack, 18. I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that the Most High might manifest them, that they might see that they themselves are beasts. All right. For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts. Every one thing befalleth them. As one dieth, so dieth other. Yea, they have all one breath, so that men have no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity. So when Solomon broke it down, that all men are beasts. So when the Lord told that, speaking about to the serpent, which was Esau in the spirit, because all men was created, and he made that statement. He made that statement because all men are considered to be beasts, or some form of beast. And like Solomon educatedly said it, properly said it, that the same thing that happens to a beast that happens to men, which is what? Death. All right? Death. You're born one moment, you do certain things in your life, and then you pass. All right? The difference is that the spirit of man goes upward, while the spirit of the beast stays on earth. But this is the curse that the Lord had put upon the serpent, that spirit, that man. Okay? And the dust meaning the confusion. It says, and here's the point, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise the head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. So this enmity has really been made manifest in the plains of the earth, because the Lord created good and evil. That's why we have this current condition that we have. These two individuals could not stand one another, and that woman ultimately represents Israel. All right. So Adam was the father of Cain and Abel, yet Cain did the most evilest work. If Adam was so good, why something that was pure evil came out of him? If Isaac was so good, why did pure evil came out of him? Because that's the setting of the setup, how the Lord wanted it. And those two individual men was the Lord. All right? Was the Lord. So he set certain things in motion. Real quick, since I make mention of it. 2 Ezra 6 and 7, it says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? When shall be the end of the first, the beginning of it that followeth? Which is $1 million question that all prophets would ask. All right, everybody in the right mind would ask, when is this going to end? He said, he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him. Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, representing what? Jacob overthrowing Esau, taking him down. Because what the when you take somebody's heel, I believe it's called the Achilles heel. That's a man's weakness. That's when you read it's a Greek mythology of Heracles and what's this guy's name? Hector. All right, and I forgot the brother's name. He what we all know the story from the movie Troy, but that was a mythos. However, it had true facts to it. And what I believe it says Ichthys, I think his name was so strong and powerful. The only way they could take him down was by what? The hill, the Achilles heel. All right, because once you cut somebody's Achilles heel, they crumble, they fall. So that was representation of the fall of Esau. Okay, meaning that he was going to be in a power position in these latter times, these latter days. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob's the beginning of it that followeth. So it's clear as day that we are at the end of the world. Even Edomites know that they're in the end of the world. Proving what the scriptures are saying. So the Lord created this whole story, this whole narrative, the hatred that they have for us. All this stuff. Because what did Israel really do to Esau to deserve that? And here's the the conclusion of the story. All right, the whole essence of the story. But I'm just gonna go. Well, I'm gonna have to jump around. Genesis 25, 27, and I think it's 31. All right, let me just go to the point. Genesis 27, and here it is. 26. It says, his father Isaac said unto him, come now and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment and blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field which the Lord hath blessed. So to make the story quick, the Lord blinded Isaac because Isaac had a significant soft spot for his firstborn. But according to prophecy, the way the Lord wanted it, he wanted his secondborn to be that guy. All right? Which was all prophecy. And Esau, when you read the 25th chapter, he was a man of the field, meaning a man of the world. He was a cunning hunter. He was a man of the world. He likes to take life. But Jacob was plain, meaning that he was more in tune in the spirit. All right? One was spiritual, one was carnal. And who was going to win that battle? The spiritual. Because the Most High he wants people to worship in spirit and truth. Okay? So when the Lord blinded Isaac, he did it for a greater purpose. Showing that the Lord's will is always above man's will. It says, therefore the Lord Yahweh give thee the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that cursed thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. So Isaac, being a man of the Lord, blessed Jacob with the best of all blessings. All right. And this is where the hatred is being manifest in this current present world. So after Isaac did this, Esau came along. And it says, I'm going to jump down to 32. It says, Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that taketh venison and brought it me? I have eaten of all before thou comest, I have blessed him. Yeah, he shall be blessed. So it was set in stone. Once the Lord allowed Isaac to bless Jacob, there's no turning back. All right, that was it. It was final. It was stamped. It said, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great, exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me so also of my father. And this is like the saying. This is what Esau. This is when he knew. This is when he knew he fucked up. Because when you read the 25th chapter, he gave the birthright, meaning that he was no longer to be the firstborn unto Jacob, because the firstborn in the ancient world always get the best of the blessing. That was the way everything did it. But the Lord purposely did this for the controversy that is today. All right, showing that the Most High is a man of war. He likes controversy. It's like drama. And this is a dramatic scene. This is a dramatic setting that was going to set a major tone in history of the world today. All right, because who's in power? Who's in power right now? It's not Jacob. It's not the true children of Israel. All right, according to prophecy, when the children of Israel get into the land, there would be no world war. There would be no wars no more. So, if that's the case, who's really in power? And we read the person that's the end of something. All right, this is Esau, which leads into the fact of the beginning of a new kingdom. It says, verse 35, and he said, thy brother came with subtlety and have taken away thy blessings. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he have supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he have taken away my blessing. And he said, thou hast not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I've made him thy Lord. Like I gave him the best blessing. It's over. This is it. It says that all his brethren have I given to him for servants with corn and wine, and have sustained him. What shall I do now unto thee, my son? Like what else can I give you? So he could only give him the one other thing that could have been given, the only option that was left. He says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me even also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. Meaning you would rule. You're going to have time to rule. All right. You will have the abundance of the earth. You will have the things of the earth. You will live the best. Your people will live the best of the life. All right. Matter of fact, you will have inventions that the other nations will never have. You will do things that no other nation would do. Yet you're gonna, and this is where the final clause of the contract was being made, because there's only one way you can do it. If one is blessed with the ultimate blessing, which is spiritual, then the ultimate adversary to that, or the ultimate counter to that, is the carnal. It says, by thy sword shall thy live. So that's why you have consistent wars under this man. Wars after wars after wars. It doesn't matter if they was called the Americans, the French, the British, the Dutch, the Russians. It doesn't matter. Whatever these people do, wherever they go, is by the sword. All right? They rape, rob, and murder. And people might say, well, these other nations did that before. Yet, but nobody has done it the way Esau has done it. And Esau is willing to sacrifice his own people. That's why you have this thing that's happening in Ukraine. is Edomite on Edomite crime. Okay? They don't care. They don't. It says, by thy sword shall thou live, and shall serve thy brother. So, and when did that happen? That happened under King David, and that happened during the Dark Ages, for a period of time. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, that shall break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. So this hatred runs deep. No matter what languages it is, they always hate you. When they believe in their heart, and whenever you come around, you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, whenever you come around, trouble happens. And we all know whenever they come around, wars, famine, pestilence, death is at the door. All right? And Esau said in his heart, the days of my mourning of my father are at hand. Then shall I slay my brother Jacob. All right? So there was that. There you go. The whole essence of everything, which I'm going to end it off on this. Amos 1:11, it says, for thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity. His anger did tear perpetual, and he kept his wrath forever. And perpetual means just that, forever. So when you see or hear certain things that comes out these people's mouth, don't be shocked, because the jealousy is real. All right, that's why they always try to sabotage the likeness of Jake, making Jake seem to be the worst of the worst, all crime-ridden criminals and the worst. But yet they the ones that's robbing, stealing lands, resources, IDs. Okay. Here it is. Biden is telling the American people to blame Putin for the gas pumpage. So there's no accountability for these people's behavior. Okay, because that's how they roll. They have the same spirit of Esau, their forefather, and especially the same spirit of Cain. Because Cain was known for what? Killing his own brother and lying about it, not taking accountability of it. So the Lord is not gonna turn away his punishment. So this is the last hurrah. Matter of fact, let me end it off on this. Lamentations 4:21. It says, 4:21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. It said, rejoice and be glad. All right, Edom is short for Esau, because his name was changed to Edom after he ate the red pottage, okay, which Edom means red, because these people, they have leprosy, but yet they're really red. All right, they red. They get angry. They get pissed. They skin turns red. Sometimes these devils, they look like a lobster red, you know. So the Lord said, rejoice and be glad, because this is their rulership. We're in their kingdom. This is his kingdom. And out of all nations, Esau had 2 chances. As the Greeks and the Romans, that failed, and now. All right. So they had plenty of opportunities to rule and to get the things right, but they couldn't. It says that dwellest in the land of Uz, the cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and then shall make thyself naked. Drunken over what? Is it talking about hard liquor? No, it's talking about the punishment. All right, slavery. They're also going to be put into slavery. All right, that cup of slavery is coming to them. They're going to be the butt of the jokes. Where they're going to be put into captivity. And this time, when they go down, they're not coming. There's no comeback. They're not fit to rule. They're not fit to be in any sort of leadership position. It says that punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. Zion is short for what? To Zion, which means monument. All right, which is speaking of who? Israel. Israel is the monument of the Lord. He said our punishment is over, and we could clearly see it's over. All right, now we're in a transitional period of rulership. He said he will no more carry thee away into captivity. And who's known for going to any sort of slavery? Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because what? We're the biblical Israelites. He said he will visit thy iniquity, which means sin on sin. All right. O daughter of Edom, he will discover thy sins. And right now we're seeing all his wickednesses being broadcasted. All right. So with that being said, son, real quick through the Spirit, shalom to the elect of the nations. Shalom.